Hey guys, how's it going? Jake from Mead here, and today I'm going to be explaining whether or not I think it's worth buying an Oculus Rift in 2018, especially halfway through the year. I own one, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be doing this review. Let's go through a few things that I do enjoy about it, a few things that I don't quite like about it, and just my overall experience. I'll show you some gameplay video, and yeah, let's get into it. I'm sure you guys by this point know what an Oculus Rift looks like. If you don't know what an Oculus Rift is, you're obviously from the 1950s and you're traveling in the future. It's my only fucking possible explanation if you don't know what the fuck VR is and what an Oculus Rift is. I have never used the Htc Vive. From what I understand, the Htc Vive and the Oculus Rift, they offer pretty much similar experiences. I've heard that the Vive is a little bit heavier on the face. The Rift is quite comfortable to use, but overall it's a solid VR gaming device. For the technology we've got now, this is about as good as it's gonna get for now. Well, that's actually a lie. There's the HTC Vive Pro, I think it's called, which is basically meant to upscale the resolution quite a significant amount. Now that's pretty much where the first issue, I guess, is that you can see the pixels, every individual pixel, when you're viewing through this device. Now that has nothing to do with the scaling of the game or the resolution that you're playing at. The resolution will be fixed to the display that it's playing at, and basically you do actually kind of forget about this, about the pixels and the display quality. You do get lost in the immersion of this experience. Would it be better at a higher resolution? Fuck yeah, absolutely. But does it really matter? Not so much, not at this point, you know. This is pretty fucking good for what you're gonna get. One more thing I wanted to say about the display is that depending on the shape of your face, you may or may not get some ambient light bleeding up, especially around from the nose. It depends on how well it seals up around your nose. There's probably janky ass ways to get around that and fix it. I haven't bothered. So yeah, the display could definitely use some attention in the next revision of this device. You can expect to some degree, some form of degraded image quality. It's probably the best way I can put it. But again, like I said, when you're playing, you do forget about this shit because it is just so much fun. The other issue that I guess I do have is tracking isn't always the best. Now that would entirely depend on how many sensors you've got and the actual system that you've got. These devices are all high bandwidth as fuck. The bandwidth for these devices can cause tracking issues. Like if I've got hard drive and I'm also running my Elgato game capture card through all this one PCIe USB controller that I've got hooked up to my computer, sometimes that can actually cause issues with tracking and recording and everything at the same time. So that's something to be mindful of. And so having two sensors is awesome. One sensor, it's alright if you're just sitting here in front of your screen, just doing a gamepad controller or whatever, but two sensors definitely if you're going to be motion sensing, and three sensors or four sensors would be way even better. Like I've just got mine set up on either side of my desk, pointing out that way, but they're fanned out. So hopefully the coverage generally picks it up. And it also comes down even to how well the game was coded in the first place. Like I notice some games actually run really, really fucking well. Like Beat Saber generally has no issues at all.
I'm a living legend. You ain't heard yet, you not get the message. From the moment that I'm stepping in and get a couple weapons, yeah, I turn to a beast when I'm repping.
Robo Recall, generally no issues at all. Arizona Sunshine, I don't think I had any issues with that one. That was pretty good overall. Then you get some of the cheaper, like the indie games, I guess you can say. They don't run so well. Pavlov VR, I noticed quite a few issues playing that game. I haven't played in a while, but Onward, another military sim, had issues tracking. So it's, you know, there are a lot of variables here that all take part in the issues here. But overall, you know, you are going to have a good experience, and there are going to be some moments that you think, my God, this is the fucking future. And then there's going to be other times where you think, I'm kind of over this, I might just go back to my old point and click, you know, games. That brings me into the next issue, and I'm sure you've heard about this, motion sickness. If you suffer from motion sickness, whether it be on a boat or a plane, I don't know, wherever you generally feel motion sickness, you are going to get it here. I'm not too bad. I do get motion sickness from this device, but not always, and normally it takes a little while to kick in. Depends on the game. Like basically the games that do it the most are the ones where there's movement happening, but you're not moving in real life. So the one that did it to me the most was the roller coaster simulator. Yeah, so the fact that I was just sitting here in my seat in the view, the roller coaster was moving forward and up and down and sideways. It was it kind of freaks your brain out a little bit in a way. Yeah, it brings this very surreal feeling that something isn't right, and yeah, you will get sick, unfortunately. So if you're super prone to motion sickness and you do suffer very badly when you do get it, so it just puts you out of action for fucking hours, I probably wouldn't get one of these. I'm worried that you'd feel like you might have wasted your money. Anyway, so let's get on to the peripherals. It came with this little puppy here, very small, elegant fucking little device. It does a good job of you know, working through menus and stuff like that. You can point and click and all that, so it's cool. It does what it's supposed to do. This is pretty much something that you'd use if you're going to be one of those people that would watch a movie in VR. There's much more simple games where you don't really need a controller. You can use an Xbox One controller. Now, like I said, this does actually come in the box. You get an Xbox One controller with a PC adapter, so that's really cool. There's games like Lucky's Tale where this is actually useful because you're just playing a platformer basically, but you can view around the place and you're controlling your character with a controller, so that's fine. That works really well for things like that. But again, overall, when you've got your touch controllers, this is all you're going to use. The touch controllers will blow your mind when you're in game and you can see your own hands, because again, the one-to-one tracking is amazing, and basically every part of this device where your fingers go is touch enabled. So if I've even got my fingers on these triggers, the game will detect that my fingers are over the triggers. If I lift it up, the hand will actually point. Like if I've got my hand like this, the in-game hand will point like that. It's super cool, super cool. It adds to that immersion because it feels like that's your hand. So overall, these controllers are amazing, except for one thing. I would highly recommend, I don't have one, but if you do, if you can get hold of one, they'd probably sell them on eBay or something, get a stand for these things because they are so annoying. They roll all the fucking time, they roll all over the fucking joint. Put it on the desk, you will lose these things off the table so often. They do run away on you. They've got minds of their own, those fucking things. Yeah, so basically overall guys, I just wanted to put up this video to anyone who is thinking about getting an Oculus Rift in 2018, especially halfway through the year. You might be really wanting one. You might have seen some games that have come out lately and just thought, fuck yeah, I really want to get one of these. Try to give it a go. There might be a sale on or something like that. And you might be wondering whether or not it's worth spending your money. And honestly, in my opinion, I would say yes, it is awesome. So basically after some real minor research, I haven't heard of anything and I can't find anything online of anything set in solid of an Oculus Rift 2. It could come out by the end of this year, but there haven't been any announcements, so I would say it's unlikely, probably going to be a 2019 thing, and even then it's just going to be an up-res scale display and maybe some extra tracking kind of features. And I'd say they'll probably release some extra peripherals with it as well, maybe. It could be a lot of things, but at this stage, it doesn't seem like there's anything being released, so I think you'd be safe to buy one. Please guys, for the love of God, if you haven't tried VR yet, all I can say is do not get an Oculus Go or like a Samsung Gear VR first to think, oh, I'll just go with the cheaper option and see if I like it. If I like it, then I'll get an Oculus. I've tried those cheap VRs and it is exactly what I just said. It's cheap ass VR. It is so janky compared to this shit. Like, you will have some cool little experiences on like a mobile VR, but this does not compare to Oculus Rift and HTC Vive, not even remotely. And that's the really sad thing about mobile VR, is that it's basically, for the people that have tried it, I think it's actually a big reason why VR hasn't really exploded as much as it has. Not the only reason, but a pretty big reason, because at the end of the day, it's the people that tried this mobile VR first, they tried bad VR first. They didn't try great VR first, and it's basically ruined their perception of it, and that probably just thought, oh, shit. Yeah, so it's definitely something that was just, please don't do it, for the love of God. If you're going to do it, it's fine, but don't let that be your opinion on VR. You've been warned. Yeah, anyway guys, thanks heaps for watching. I appreciate every little view, every like and every comment that you give to me, and I would especially appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. It means everything to me, guys, it really does. I've only just started this channel, this is my 11th video, and basically I want to keep making more, and I'm going to keep making more anyway, but you know, the subscribers that I've already got, the comments that I got, was what drove me to keep on doing this in the first place, and I'm gonna keep on trying. Yeah, I don't really care if I make money from it or not. It's just more of I like knowing that people are actually getting something out of my videos. I like to know that I'm helping people, maybe in a little way, maybe in a big way. It doesn't really matter. And guys, if you have any questions at all, throw a question in the comments and I will reply. I promise you. At this stage, I don't have too many comments, so I'll easily reply. And maybe I'll throw it in my next video. You know, there's possibilities are endless. But yeah, anyway, thanks heaps, you fucking legends. I appreciate every little fucking second you dedicate your time to me. I'll catch you in the next video. Have a good one.